How this CD actually came about was I was sitting with Mr. and Mrs. Stonecipher having dinner, and matter of fact, Mr. Stonecipher's pastor, their pastor and his wife were there, and we got to talking about the church. We got to talking about every church needs more finances, and we got talking about this whole thing of helping people and the high percentile of our counseling. 70% of my calls, I don't know about yours, but 70% of my calls all go back to money. People that are getting downside, people getting laid off, people that can't afford to put their kids in Christian schools, moms that want to stay home with their kids, people's businesses are failing, and so on and so forth. And out of that whole general conversation, again, Mr. Stonecipher has a heart to help pastors, to help churches, to help God's people in general. And he's committed this business to the Lord. He believes that God raised him up to start this business for the purpose of helping people have equal justice under the law. And he's got a heart as big as all outdoors and loves people. And we got to talking about what we could do for the church. Now, here's the wonderful news, all right? They will let you enroll your church as an individual. Now, here's what we got to do. If the pastor doesn't want to do it, or the head of the ministry doesn't want to do it, then you have to find somebody else to do it. But basically, I think you'll understand that prepaid cannot call a building. They cannot, ask questions of a building if there's a question about something going on in the downline. And so, therefore, the pastor is enrolled, and then the pastor enrolls the church. And you think of the church as an individual. Now, the person that gave you this CD is going to show you the marketing plan. You'll see names like senior associate, manager, director, executive director, silver or bronze, silver, gold, executive directors, platinum, whatever. Now, the church can be all of those things. See, the church is going to be considered as an individual. So, the pastor enrolls the church. Then let's just say, for reference sake, that you had 5 business people in your church, maybe 5 board members that were interested. Then what you could do is the church could then enroll the 5 deacons, 5 business people, 5 individuals within the church, and then everybody else in the church could be enrolled through one of those 5 people. And what happens is the money flows up into the church. Now, does the pastor benefit? Sure. But the money flows up into the church first. And we've got churches right now that are designating all of this money to go into a building fund because they've got a project. I've got one church that's taking all the money that they're going to get from prepaid legal and scholarshiping kids into their Christian school. So there's a variety of different ways that you can do this. Now, the question comes up about taxes. Understand that just like our Catholic friends have bingo, the church is not prohibited from making money. What the church is prohibited from doing under the law is allowing that money to ensure, as they call it, benefit a single person, like the pastor or whatever. That's why the pastor has his own business. The church simply needs to be able to show where the money was used and that the money was used for church non-profit purposes. And same thing with an evangelist, same thing with anything else that's non-profit. You can enroll the non-profit entity as an associate, as an individual, if you will, and as long as that non-profit can show, just like we will here at Freedom Village, that all the money that came in from prepaid or from anything else, if you have a hot dog sale, or if you have a baked goods sale, as long as that money all went to be used for not-for-profit purposes, church purposes, and so on and so forth, you're perfectly okay. So understand, you've got the potential of bringing 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. I mean, just like an individual in prepaid can go into prepaid and become a millionaire, the church has that same opportunity. And, of course, it benefits the pastor, benefits all the people below, it benefits everybody, and it's a win-win situation for the church. And I highly, highly recommend it. We've got this working for a lot of different churches, And my goal is to see about 3,000 or 5,000 churches now across America and Canada that in the next year or so will see this as an opportunity to fund their Christian school, to fund their daycare center, to build the gymnasium, to add on to the church, to do the remodeling, to buy the new pews, to do whatever it is, and that gives everybody an incentive. So you're helping people, but you're also helping the church.